Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies to you. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Julia. I'm a contemporary singing specialist based in Australia, and today I am reacting to Tim Foust and Peter Hollens performing their arrangement of Misty Mountains. And as we all probably know, this song is from The Hobbit, and I'm super keen to see what happens with the arrangement because I haven't listened to Peter Hollens before, but word on the grapevine says that his arrangements get complex and amazing. So I am keen. Let's do this.
Far over the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day to find our long forgotten gold. The pines were roaring on the height, the winds were moaning in the night, the fire was red, it flaming spread, the trees like torches blazed with light. The wind was on the withered heath, but in the forest stand beneath, their shadows lay, be night or day, and dark things silent crept beneath.
Okay, let's stop it there before I accidentally watch this whole thing and just become a puddle. Off the bat, I am adoring the way that they have chosen to harmonize this. If you go back and you have a listen, you might notice that they're not just doing the same thing over and over again, because you have the difference of the extended harmonies that are going up into a higher part of their range, and then you have Tim and other low sounds coming through sometimes in the lower part of the range, and they're varying those up. So you're not just getting like the same spectrum of harmony the entire time. One part of the song, particularly when they went into more of a complete sort of harmonic arrangement, if you will. I'll go back and I'll find it and point it out to you, because otherwise I will ramble trying to explain this, and then it might not even make sense. So
the wind was on the withered heath.
so you can hear there you've got like the higher vocal qualities coming through in that arrangement, and then as this progresses, those higher pitches, or I usually call them stacks because it's like they go stack up on top of each other. But obviously there's a lot of notes going on here, and it's not just as simple as, 2 or 3. So let's just deal with sort of like parts of the voice as opposed to like being like specifically this is this specific note, because I don't have perfect pitch. Otherwise I would maybe still try to do that for you. Don't know if I'd be successful, but I'd still give it a go. Regardless, I don't have perfect pitch, so we're just going to talk about like where you hear different parts of the voice coming in more dominantly. So there you heard the higher parts of the voice, the higher part of his range becoming a little more dominant in the harmonic spread. You still have the lower sounds coming through though. So.
The wind was on the withered heath, but in the forest stand beneath. Their shadows lay, be night or day, and dark things silent crept beneath.
So they started off with more use in the upper part of his range, and then it almost like it tapered down. So you had that step from the higher part of his range, and then the chord voicing moved slightly lower. We got a tiny little bit of, not quite dissonance. They weren't close enough for it to be specifically dissonant, but you got a little bit more of a suspended feeling, if you will, as it then stepped down, and then we kind of settled in that sort of the support was coming mostly from mid to low parts of their vocal range. So small things like that keep arrangements interesting is kind of what I'm getting at. So it's not just every single part of the voice being harmonized at once, because that can get very blocky, if that makes sense, if we're constantly just being G, 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 D, 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 D. Like it's yeah, you guys get what I mean. Keeps it interesting because there's variety there, and we don't get bored when those highs come back. In fact, when they do come back, and I suspect they will, it'll probably be more exciting when they return. Okay, so another little thing that I want to talk about quickly. I guess you guys picked up on the fact that that stunning little harmonic movement that they had going through the section before here, beautiful, beautiful. The harmonies they're using this are stunning. To get that kind of like medieval, ye old feel, you might start dealing with things like parallel fifths, or you might have fourths or specific cadences that kind of give it that medieval feel. So just to give you an example, by parallel fifths, I literally just mean you have the interval of a fifth, and then depending on what chord you're going to, like let's say we're going from C to D, the fifth moves. It kind of gives you more of that like medieval type of vibe. That's a parallel fourth as well. So for me, the use of like parallel harmonies in this particular arrangement, it does make sense because it does give us that kind of medieval, ye old feeling. But another thing that I'm enjoying is that they've based everything off the original like chant style composition of the song, which I think building off of that and kind of staying true to that music style, it suits it. And with the costumes, I mean, they're just hitting the theme kind of out of the park. It honestly looks like they're about to go and try and kill a fire drake with molten gold. Anyways, let's keep going.
But shrill and harsh across the marsh, its whistling voices were released. Farewell we call to hearth and home, though wind may blow and rain may fall, we must away ere break of day, far o'er the
Damn. God, Tim. He's on like a G sharp 1 or an A flat 1, whichever the key happens to be. I mean, the tone is a little bit wide and it sounds like it's got a lot of air pumping through it, but I also feel like that it's like suits the theme. Maybe he would do like a subharmonic low, like what Jeff did in the Oogie Boogie's song, the Nightmare Before Christmas one that I reacted to for Christmas. But yeah, that's still pretty darn low. And that may as well be my segue into talking about the vocals for this particular song. I hadn't heard Peter Hollens before. That was insane, the range that he demonstrated. Like, he went real high. Let's find that. Let's find where that was. And then I want to talk a little bit about the vowel choices that they're using in this particular song. I mean, that's up to an E. I swear it got higher.
But shrill and hard.
I mean, damn. If Tim got the like G sharp or A flat down in the first octave, Peter's up in the 5th. That's kind of amazing. I mean, to have the depth to be able to do some of the low work that he did in the beginning, all the way up into the high stuff, so that, you know, we get to explore lots of different harmonic arrangements in this piece. That's so cool. And his tone is truly beautiful. It's balanced. It's got some warmth in there. It's not overly bright, but I do also think that that might be because of the style of music that they're singing. You might have noticed as they're singing that they go to the vowel very quickly from the consonant. So essentially, they live in the vowel or they sing on the vowel for the majority of whatever the word is. Now, vowels are the easiest way of being able to extend notes, that is for sure. But the fact that you leave the consonant that quickly and like the quality of the vowel is kind of like the focus on the vocal delivery. I'll show you what I mean.
The forest sees.
That one. You can hear how much he's not emphasizing his consonants, and particularly the word forest. The r quality isn't there. We got forest almost. He's like very lightly using the R in that word because the focus is actually the vowel quality throughout each of the phrases, and that really does give it a slightly different feel. We see this contrast to contemporary music in classical as well. Classical is one of those styles where the vowel is kind of the dominant part of the sound, so if your consonants are too harsh or they're kind of taking over the phrase, it's not going to sound quite the same. And it's why when you look at things like musical theatre, if you look at their legit styles, even the difference between traditional legit and contemporary legit, and legit is its own singing style, it's not like a one-up on other singing styles. The difference between traditional legit and contemporary legit are how speechy or how dominant those consonants are when they're actually singing. So it makes a difference, the approach to that particular vowel. And there are times that you hear people singing with a more vowel-focused sort of setup in a contemporary song, and it just doesn't quite land the same. The vowel shape might not fit, whereas here, they're going for more of that rounded vowel shape. Is it as round as, like, some of your pure classical singing? No, and also there's obviously not an overabundance of vibrato, but that's still one of the things I wanted to point out on the singing style, because I think it's something that's important to take away from performances like this, and why this performance might sound different to perhaps other arrangements with the same vocalists. It does sound different, and that will be part of it, is the approach to the vowel. This was splendid. I really enjoyed that. I liked how they were able to take the original composition and then expand on it. We got to explore lots of different ways in which harmony can step and create new qualities, and I enjoy that. I like it when harmonies aren't like too blocky, where it's just like the root and the third and the fifth and then maybe the seventh on top, and then they just block chord it, because that, to me, it just doesn't make for interesting voicings. So I appreciated some of the things that they put in this particular arrangement. This is two dudes. That's nuts. That's a really cool. Both of them have fabulous vocal tones. Tim's low notes are beautifully rich and ringy and warm and lovely. And then I got to hear Peter, who, again, range was just amazing. I liked the different tonal qualities that I got to hear in his sound. I do think the fact that this is a little bit more vowel dominant, or the shape of the vowel is a little more different to contemporary, might mean that if I listen to a more contemporary song from him, I might hear something slightly different because I do get hints of that bright contemporary, almost musical theatre sound just peeking through ever so slightly when he was singing this. But anyways, overall, I enjoyed this. I hope that you did as well. If you did, be sure to click the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell notification beside it for more just like this one. As usual, I hope you're staying safe. I hope you are staying healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.